He's a comer.
More like sucks cocks lol, am I right?
What rules, you sons of bitches?
I am reacting to the start of the stream. I am a reactandi.
Obama.
You.
Wet ass P-word. Wet ass P-word.
Late stream pop off chat.
Wet ass P-word.
Sick here. Damn, almost gay.
Hi everyone, Joe Grand here with a project that I'm calling the Tooth Tunes Toothbrush Hack. Tooth Tunes is a children's toothbrush designed by Arm & Hammer that uses bone conduction and has a transducer in the head of the toothbrush that vibrates the bristles and will play a 2-minute song clip from a variety of popular artists.
Whoa.
It's actually a
Have
pretty
to
cool
sleep.
technology
My
that's been used
reaction
in
is,
lots of
whoa,
other
that's so
applications,
cool.
but we don't see it
Uncool.
too much
Have a
in the
fun
consumer
stream,
space.
y'all.
The
Thanks,
vibrations
Bean
of
Man.
the bristles, when you hold it up to your teeth, you actually feel them through your jawbone into your inner ear.
It sounds like the music is playing from inside your head.
The problem is that the songs that these things play are not exactly my style. There's Jonas Brothers, Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana. So I thought, what if I could hack this toothbrush to play music that I actually wanted to hear? This toothbrush wasn't meant to be user serviceable. It's created with a one-piece plastic housing with some rubber overmolding to keep everything waterproof. But with a little bit of brute force and finesse, you'll be able to remove this back cover to give you access to the batteries in the circuitry. What you'll need to do first is cut the wires coming from the transducer, which is mounted up here in the head right near the bristles. Otherwise, if you try to pull the circuitry out, you're gonna break those wires.
Don't want to do
There's
that.
usually a post that's press fit to keep this in place, but you can eventually pull that off, take out the batteries, and then pull out this plastic carrier that's holding the circuit board and also serves as a way to mount the batteries. Here's the original circuitry. We have the button to start and stop the audio playback, a bunch of discretes, and then the audio playback circuitry, microcontroller, whatever it is, all integrated into a single chip and wire bonded down to the board and covered with epoxy. This is known as a chip-on-board type of manufacturing process, very common for high-volume, low-cost types of devices.
Yeah,
The main
very
purpose
common,
of this
very common.
project was to replace this with this. So this is the final custom circuitry that replaces the original circuit board and sits right in place on that plastic carrier. We have the button in the same spot to start and stop the audio playback. Here's our microSD card slot to stick.
My man's
our
got to clean his
desired song.
fingernails.
And then the back side is the rest of the circuitry. Microcontroller here, audio amplifier here. Let's go take a look at the schematic for some more details. The core of the design is based on a project by Chan, which plays WAV files from an SD card using an ATtiny microcontroller. The audio output from Chan's original design wasn't loud enough to properly drive the transducer of the Tooth Tunes, so I added a standard LM4864 audio amplifier, which connects directly to the Tooth Tunes transducer in a bridge-tied load configuration. I also wanted to have control of starting and stopping the music, just like the original toothbrush. So I decided to add a Maxim
It's an important feature.
16054 on-off push-button controller. And I thought I'd be able to do this with some transistors. I've seen some circuitry out there to do it, but I just didn't have the real estate on the board. The typical standby current for this device is around 7 microamps, so you're basically just sipping power waiting to enable the entire system. There's a push button on one side that the user will press, and that will toggle the output pin. There's an inverse of that as well. And typically you connect that up to a regulator to turn on and off the regulator. So here I have the output pin going to the enable pin of my low dropout linear regulator. So when I push this button, system turns on. When I push the button again, system turns off. Another cool feature that I wanted to have is when the song stopped playing, I wanted the entire circuitry to turn off. So there's actually a way to do that with an I/O pin from the microcontroller. It's in an idle low state, pulled down with a resistor, but there's this clear pin. So that allows the circuitry itself to turn off. Once the song stops playing, this I/O pin goes high and turns off power to the entire system. Once I had all the circuitry tested and assembled, all I had to do was load my desired WAV file onto the microSD card, stick that into the microSD card slot, hook up the wires that I extended for the transducer, and then stick this thing in, put your batteries in, close it up, and you're good to go. So here's my final hacked assembled unit. I had to drill a little hole in the backside here to get access to the transducer wires, punctured those, pulled them out, and then ran the extension wires to reach the rest of my circuitry. All right, so there you go, a Tooth Tunes toothbrush modified with some custom circuitry to play whatever music you want. All of the details of this project are available on my website, including schematic, bill of materials, and circuit board layout. Just go to grandideastudio.com and search for Tooth Tunes. Once again, I'm Joe Grand signing off, and remember to keep that positive, dental outlook.
That's crazy.